simplicity. Dr. Kasonso, here on Bonano TV, we have pitched a robust small business development as the key to the economic development of a country. You know, in the current situation, small business employ about 80% of the current workforce in Zambia, and most of them are in the agriculture sector. 70% of our taxes revenues are from small businesses. That's the view. What's the global outlook on small business, entrepreneurship? Dr. Kasonzo.
Robbie, that's an excellent question. When I was growing up in Sanfia, before we went to Ndola, they told us that umwana shenda atashanya inokudaya. The umwana shenda atashanya inokudaya. It's a child who only knows about the mother's cooking and doesn't know what is going on in other pots, what other mothers are cooking. Thinks that the mother is the best cook. So I appreciate your question, first of all, in the sense that you want us to look at what is going on in the global economy. Yeah. So in the global economy, what is the outlook on small business entrepreneurship in the global economy? There are three angles through which we can look at entrepreneurship in the global economy today. There are economies we can call factor-driven economies from the perspective of the entrepreneur, and there are economies we can call efficiency-driven economies, and then there are those that we can call innovation-driven economies from the perspective of the entrepreneur. So then from this global perspective, then we can see where we fit in and why our nation is prime and ready to take up these opportunities. First of all, let's try and shed more light on the factor-driven economy. The factor-driven economy is a nation where the major forces for jobs, revenues, and taxes come from farming or extractive industry like forestry, mining, and oil production. That's the factor-driven. In nations where there is little manufacturing, in these nations, most industry relates to farming, extracting raw materials such as mining and forestry. And in those fact-driven economies such as Pakistan, Jamaica, and Venezuela, entrepreneurship is essential to helping build personal wealth and breaking the cycle of low-wage jobs, and entrepreneurship levels are very high. Now, that is the factor-driven economy. The second one is the efficient-driven economy. This is a nation where industrialization is becoming the major force providing jobs, revenues, and taxes, and where minimizing costs whilst maximizing productivity, that is efficiency. We're minimizing costs and maximizing productivity is the major goal in this type of economy. Economies, as economies develop and go beyond the basic manufacturing, they are going to become more industrialized economies, as is seen in countries such as Russia, Brazil, and China. It is called an efficiency-driven economy. In these nations, entrepreneurship becomes a key way to build the middle class, and a growing retail and wholesale sector grows alongside the businesses, serving the needs of large industrial concerns. Entrepreneurship levels in such economies is what we would classify as being in the middle range. And then the innovation-driven economies describe a nation where the major forces for jobs, revenues, and taxes come from high value added production based on new ideas and technologies, and from professional services based on higher education. Innovation-driven economies are focused on high value added manufacturing, but are marked also by a very large service sector providing high-end services to not only the residents populations, but also for the export markets. Examples of such countries include Germany, the Republic of Korea, and the United States. Entrepreneurship levels in these countries average the lowest of the three types of economies. So what is the whole point of trying to give this global outlook? I'm trying to show you, Robbie, tonight that of the factor-driven economies, the efficiency-driven economies, the innovation-driven economies, the global outlook is that entrepreneurship is the highest in factor-driven economies. And this is where Zambia places amongst these. So we are categorically, based on research on entrepreneurship, we are categorically in the quadrant of those types of economies where there are more and better opportunities for entrepreneurship to grow.
Thanks so much. Well, you've articulated very well, the issue of the global outlook on small business entrepreneurship.